Every time you edit a text before sending, you're negotiating with fear. You know it's true. The Japanese call this mental prison Kirawareru Yūki, literally, the courage to be disliked. And it explains why your most successful decisions happened when you didn't overthink them. The 5 courages I'm about to reveal will end these negotiations forever and give you the same clarity you had in your best moments, except permanent. You've always sensed something was wrong with seeking approval. Now let me show you the first mental phantom that's been controlling your decisions for years. The first courage, the courage of truth. Every time you cringe at a memory, you're feeding a ghost, and you've been feeding yours for years. That text that got left on scene, that stupid thing you said 5 years ago, that time you tried to be yourself and got shut down. These aren't memories anymore. They're prison guards. Meet Gohan, 28, decent life, but paralyzed by invisible chains. Every text takes 10 minutes to write. Every meeting, he stays quiet. Every opportunity to be real, he chooses to be safe. Why? Because 5 years ago, he asked a girl out and she laughed. 3 years ago, he shared an idea at work and got dismissed. Last year, he opened up to a friend who didn't care. Now watch what he does. He uses these 3 moments to justify a lifetime of hiding. But here's what the samurai understood about fear. Miyamoto Musashi wrote, "The true way of strategy is the way of nature." Nature doesn't hold on to yesterday's storms. The tree that gets struck by lightning doesn't stop growing. It just grows around the scar. You're not a tree. You're worse. You keep striking yourself with the same lightning. Think about that for a second. The rejection already happened. It's over. Done. But you replay it every day. You keep the wound fresh. You're both the archer and the target. Here's the part that will mess with your head. You're doing this on purpose. You're not traumatized. You're comfortable. Being wounded is easier than being powerful. Having an excuse is safer than having responsibility. Gohan realized this when he watched his successful friend get rejected 3 times in one night. Didn't even flinch. Asked Gohan, "Why would I carry their no into tomorrow?" That's when it clicked. Gohan wasn't protecting himself from future pain. He was protecting himself from present courage. In Zen archery, there's a principle. Once the arrow leaves the bow, it no longer belongs to you. Your rejections? They're arrows that left the bow years ago, but you keep running after them, picking them up, stabbing yourself with them. Here's your weapon against the ghost. The 3-second rule. When that cringe memory hits, you have 3 seconds to act, not think. Act, send the text, speak up, make the move. 3 seconds before the ghost takes control. Because here's what the ghost doesn't want you to know. Nobody else remembers your failures. They're too busy replaying their own. You're living in a prison where you're the only prisoner and the only guard. But killing this ghost creates a new problem. Because once you stop blaming the past, you have to face the present. And in the present, there's only one thing left to deal with: other people's actual opinions. The second courage, the courage of boundaries. The scroll trap has you. Every notification, every scene receipt, every reaction, you're hooked. Checking, refreshing, waiting. Your entire day hijacked by other people's thumbs, your bleeding energy you don't even know you're losing. Every text you send, you wait for their reaction. Every opinion you share, you watch their face. Every post, you refresh for validation. Gohan discovered this at 1 a.m., trying to post about his first jiu-jitsu class. 45 minutes, 7 different captions. First day rolling, too basic. Beginning my warrior journey, too cringe. Learning to embrace discomfort, too preachy. Delete, rewrite, delete, rewrite. The scroll trap had him paralyzed. Meanwhile, people would scroll past his post in literally 1 second. He spent an hour crafting something they'd forget before their thumb finished swiping. Then he learned something from an ancient principle. In Japanese martial arts, there's a concept called ma, the space between fighters. Your space is yours. Their space is theirs. Cross into their space without purpose, you lose balance. Try to control their space from your space, you lose power. Their opinion of you, that's their space, their task, not yours. The courage of boundaries means accepting this. You can't control their reaction. You can only control your action. Think about how insane this is. You're trying to manage 7 billion people's thoughts about you. You're the CEO of a company that doesn't exist, working overtime for 0 pay. Here's what happens when someone laughs at you and you don't react. Watch this carefully. They laugh, expecting you to shrink. You don't. You just look at them, calm, almost curious. Their laugh gets weaker, then stops. Then they look confused. You know why? Because your reaction was their fuel. Without it, they're just someone laughing alone. And suddenly that mirror flips. They're not laughing at you anymore. They're seeing their own insecurity reflected back. Musashi had a saying, think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. You've got it backwards. You think deeply of yourself, analyzing every move, and lightly of the world, assuming everyone's watching. Nobody's watching. They're all fighting their own scroll trap. So Gohan tried something radical. He posted the picture. No fancy caption. Just, day 1, posted in 3 seconds. The post he spent 45 minutes not posting, done in 3 seconds. What happened next broke his brain. 3 guys from work messaged him, yo, I've been wanting to try jujitsu. Which gym? Let's train together. Real connections from being real. The less he performed, the more he connected. The less he filtered, the more magnetic he became. Here's your weapon against the scroll trap, the task division. Before any interaction, ask yourself, what's my task here? Your task. Be honest. Their task. Whatever they do with that honesty. The samurai called this dying before going into battle. Not physical death, ego death. The death of needing to control outcomes. Once you're dead to their opinions, you're finally alive to your own truth. But here's where it gets dangerous. This courage. Not caring what anyone thinks. It feels like it should isolate you, push people away. The opposite happens. But understanding why requires the third courage. Because there's a massive difference between not caring what people think and not caring about people. And the next enemy knows exactly how to confuse the two. The third courage, the courage of equality, the echo enforcer. You know this person, that friend from high school who texts, how you doing, but really wants to know if they're doing better. They've created this whole story. You think you're above them. You'd brag about your success. You look down on them. None of it's real. It's all in their head. But they need you to be the villain so they can be the hero of their own victim story. They're playing a game nobody wins, the one-up game. And here's the sick part. You're probably playing it too. Every conversation becomes a competition. They mention their vacation. You mention yours was longer. They talk about work. You talk about your promotion. Back and forth. Nobody connecting. Everyone performing. Gohan had this friend. Every hangout felt like a boxing match. Exhausting. Then Gohan tried something different. His friend started the usual routine, talking about his new car. Instead of competing, Gohan said, "That's sick, man. I've been stressed about money lately." The friend stopped, stared, then said, "Bro, me too. The car payment is killing me." First real conversation they'd had in years. See, the echo enforcer feeds on hierarchy. Superior, inferior, better, worse. But real connection only happens horizontally, equal to equal, human to human. The Bible says iron sharpens iron. Not iron crushes iron. Not iron outshines iron. Sharpens. You both get better. That's horizontal. The courage of equality means this. Stop trying to be better than others. Start trying to be better with others. When you drop the scoreboard, something magical happens. The people who were competing with you either leave, good riddance, or drop their guard too. And that's when real brotherhood begins. Gohan's crew transformed when he stopped being the successful one and just became one of them. His struggles became their fuel. His victories, their victories. No hierarchy, just humans helping humans. When someone shares success, elevate it. That's incredible. Tell me more. When they share struggle, match it. No comparison, no competition, just connection. But here's the trap. This horizontal connection feels so good, you might get addicted to it, need it, depend on it, which is exactly when you need the fourth courage. Because the real test isn't how you handle people's opinions or their competition. The real test comes when you're completely alone. The fourth courage, the courage of solitude. You've stopped seeking approval. You've set boundaries. You've found your equals, but now you need them to notice you're growing, to confirm you're on the right path. Here's the brutal truth nobody tells you. 99% of your life, you're your only cheerleader. Your parents love you, but they've got their own battles. Your friends support you, but they're fighting their own wars. Even your partner can't be your constant validation machine. They're not supposed to be. You're supposed to grow up. Most people never do. The comparison feed shows you everyone else's highlights while you're living your behind the scenes. It whispers, look how far ahead they are. Look how much validation they get. Gohan felt this after fixing everything else. No more approval seeking, no more competing, but now desperately refreshing his progress posts. Different trap, same prison. Then he discovered something the samurai knew. Jiyo, self-reliance through self-accountability. You don't need external judges when you become your own harshest critic and biggest supporter. Gohan created his own metrics, not likes or comments, real measurements. Did I speak my truth today? Did I help someone without posting about it? Did I improve 1% at something? His scoreboard, his game, his rules. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Do it for others, not yourself. Sounds backwards, right? But when you create value for others, you don't need their applause. The value itself is the reward. If they don't appreciate it, their loss. You still created something real. The courage of solitude isn't about being alone, it's about being complete when you are. Everyone thinks you need witnesses to make progress real. You don't. A tree grows in the forest whether anyone's watching or not. Your growth is the same. You'd think this is the end. Internal validation, self-reliance, freedom. It's not. It's preparation. Because there's one final enemy, the most dangerous. It doesn't attack your past, your present, or your connections. It attacks your future. And most people never even know it's there. The fifth courage, the courage of now. What if you're falling behind? What if this isn't enough? What if you die unknown? You're so busy building your legacy, you forget to live your life. Gohan hit this wall, fixed everything else, but now paralyzed by future anxiety. What's the point if nobody remembers? Then he learned the final teaching. In Zen, Ichigo Ichi-e, one time, one meeting. This moment will never happen again. The courage of now means this. Stop living for your future biography. Start living for this breath. Watch what happens when you fully arrive in the present. No past story, no future worry, just here, now. Your presence becomes magnetic because you're the only person in the room who's actually in the room. Everyone else is time traveling. You're the only one here. Gohan stopped posting, stopped planning, stopped performing, just started being. His friends said he became unrecognizable, not different, finally himself. Remember that text you were editing at the beginning? That was the FOMO Phantom saying, what if they judge you forever? Forever doesn't exist. Only now does. The paradox, stop caring what people think. Start mattering to people. Stop chasing legacy. Become legendary. You're not the same person who clicked this video. That person was editing themselves. This person doesn't need to. If this hit home, join thousands getting a free daily dose of wisdom straight to your inbox. Sign up now at the link in the description and start your transformation. God bless you and have a nice one.